All right, Trevor, thank you so much for joining me and sharing your story today. I'm really excited to be able to share your story with everyone. It's really powerful what I've heard from you and what I've seen with you working with you over almost a year now. So yeah, thank you again for joining me here. I'd love to hear a little bit about what were you first experiencing when you came to me? What kind of health issues were you having, and what kind of frustrations were you feeling?
Yeah, I guess a little bit of everything. I've had psoriasis since I was like 8, and that was never really getting better. And then, like I told you, I had like a pretty extensive concussion history just from hockey and some other stuff growing up. And then I'd also been like working with like I think 3 or 4 other practitioners, kind of on like mold related stuff, and I got a SIRS diagnosis, and I felt like I was doing so much, but I was still dealing with like I just had brain fog all the time, and my skin was always messed up, and I like couldn't really get through a day without a nap, and yeah, and I just was like always I felt like trapped, even though I was doing a million things. So yeah, I heard you on Matt Blackburn's podcast, and I've I just kind of felt like everything clicked, and I just reached out to you through there. But
Glad you did. Yeah.
me too.
So so I mean, so with your previous experiences with other like practitioners working with mold, could I hear a little bit more about that? Like kind of what other protocols had you done, and did you get anywhere with that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that was part of the frustration was I felt like I was always on all these supplements, and it was kind of coming from a place of restriction everywhere else. Everything was kind of strict, and like, but at the same time, it's just kind of like a million supplements, and they always seemed to mess my stomach up and aggravate my skin, and there wasn't really it kind of just felt like throwing darts at a dartboard and trying to fit whatever I was dealing with into just someone else's struggles. So it felt like I never really got anywhere, and it was hard to stick with it because it was just like I wasn't really seeing the results, and then it was obviously expensive taking a million things. So um, yeah,
Mhm.
but it was just I don't know. It just felt like I was not really getting anywhere despite everything I was doing. So
Yeah, going in circles kind of thing. I mean, probably had I mean, something I experienced my own journey, and a lot of people often do is that uh, you keep throwing the kitchen sink at the problem, and you'll just get like a little better, but it never really hits the root, right, as to what's going on, right?
yeah, I think another thing too is like I would. This was like probably a couple of years where I kind of really sat down and really nothing's gotten better, and that was scary for me. Just you're putting in so much time and effort, and it felt like I hadn't gotten anywhere. So it was a little discouraging. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, tell me a little bit about where you're at now. I mean, we went through a pretty thorough process together. We did all the things, all the drainage, the minerals, parasites. Like, I'd love to hear your state now.
yeah, I feel like I'm in a completely different place. Like it's kind of where these things aren't really on my mind anymore. Where it was when I was doing all this other stuff, it was an obsession almost. But now I don't really think about my skin ever, and my brain actually
Wow.
feels like it works, and I'm not worried about my if my gut's gonna act up all the time. And
Wow.
um, yeah, and I think yeah, I was just a million things, but two with like diet related stuff where I don't really feel like I don't really put the energy into worrying about stuff. I don't feel like I get impacted by it. Even if I was eating certain healthy food, they would kind of mess with me. But now it's like I still eat very healthy, you would say, but I don't feel like I have to restrict anything, which is nice.
Wow.
That was a big thing where I was always trying to figure out things to remove or whatever. But now it's like I'm in a place where I can eat whatever and not really think about it, which is so. It just everything feels like I just feel freer, which is kind of what I was after all along. But
Amazing. Amazing. I mean, yeah, that should be the ultimate goal of a good program, right? Like freedom. I mean, it's like so exhausting to have your mental real estate always occupied with like worrying, am I going to have a flare up? Like I need to manage this, and if I get outside of my little bubble, then like, is my gut going to get worse, my brain fog going to get worse? And yeah, it's very limiting. It definitely takes juice out of the tank, for people who want to really live a full expressive life. It definitely takes a lot of like life force out of like what we could be pouring into our passions. And
Yeah.
you just told me as well, I mean, you started a company, so I'd love to hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I guess yeah, like I was telling you, I've been working for about a year now with a guy I coach hockey with. He does venture capital stuff, but we're starting a company. It's supposed to be launching in the next few months, but um, yeah, it's just there's so much that I'm gonna be doing and everything. So it's now I feel my brain's actually to where I can think deeply about things and just conversations where I feel I would just kind of check out. And I feel like I didn't have the capacity for it. It's all kind of clicked at the right time. So
Wow.
yeah, and I feel I don't feel like I'm drudging through the day. Like I just I feel like it's a lot easier to meet those demands and then I don't know I'm not worried about all the other stuff too, so I can kind of put my energy into that. And like I know like other jobs and stuff, it was really hard, and even in school I struggled big time because I was always in class or something worrying about is my stomach gonna act up or whatever else, and it's kind of impossible to focus with that stuff going on. So not dealing with that is I feel like I can actually be present with these things and actually think far ahead and plan as needed. And
Yeah, probably made a huge impact in how you're showing up in business. I mean, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I wish like it would have been nice to feel that way in like, other jobs and school and stuff. It was so much more effort to just get through, but now it feels like it's just happening naturally, which is nice.
Wow. Yeah, you've entered that flow state. Yeah. It's like a force multiplier, when your brain is working properly. The amount
Mhm.
of willpower that you have goes a lot further because there's a lot more like flow and creativity and so yeah, like you said, life doesn't feel like it drags on as much when you're not toxic, you know.
Yeah,
So um so what three parts of us like working together made the biggest impact for you, would you say?
I feel like one of the biggest things was it felt like there was a good amount of personalization where if there was obviously you have experience from other clients and stuff, but it felt like there was things that were more tailored to what I needed, which I think helped a lot. Like I think the melatonin and everything helped a ton with just all the concussions and everything. And then I also liked how you weren't like I said with the other people that I worked with, where it was like, oh, you need to take a million things at once, but with working with you, it was everything had a purpose, and it didn't feel like at any point anything was being forced, which is helpful. Um, yeah, and then I think too a lot of the lifestyle stuff that you put in the documents and everything. Um, I think that was also super helpful. It felt more like it was still intentional, but it felt a little looser. I felt like I didn't have to drive myself crazy, like limiting things or removing things. It was I could add things and know that they were not going to get in the way. So
Amazing. Yeah. So like kind of more empowering lifestyle instead of restrictive.
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I don't like that about other things where it's too rigid and it's harder to stick with it. Like you're not like given just do whatever you want, but it's you don't have to fear certain things that shouldn't be feared, and
Totally.
everything has a some sort of purpose. But
Yeah. 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 I mean, I often say like fear is the biggest toxin of them all, right? And if you have like good information, you know how to navigate the toxic world, then there's no reason to be afraid. You just empower yourself. But yeah, working on the concussion stuff seemed to be really huge for you. I mean, you had like a lot of head injuries, and I'm really happy the melatonin was really impactful. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I feel like there was a couple of things that you did, but that like I felt like that clicked right away, and I feel like I keep seeing the benefit as it goes along. But
yeah, yeah. An amazing anti-aging tool as well. for the brain and for, yeah, it'll continue to work on you for sure.
Yeah.
So a question. So who do you think, like, is kind of an interesting question, but like, who do you think this kind of program is for? Would you say, like what kind of struggles a person might be experiencing?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of what you do can kind of extend out to a lot of people if you're like dealing with chronic issues that don't seem to be getting better. I feel like this was kind of perfect. I think it was like kind of perfect for what I needed. And then I mean, I feel like just at a general level, just all the detox stuff that it's can't really get away from it, no matter where you are. So I think there's value in that for everyone, but it's also doing this kind of work. I don't have to be scared of this stuff. I know there's solutions. You're really good at personalizing it and adjusting if needed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like, I think there's a general process, right? That's what I kind of lay out a lot, about like general order. Hey, we need to do drainage, we need to do minerals, we need to work on the infections. And then on top of that, then it's like the specific issues, right, that we address at the right time. So like at the right time, we brought in the melatonin and we worked through the parasite cleanse when you were ready for it and all that. So yeah. So one more question. I mean, what's next for you? Like, what do you want to do with all this new life force?
I don't know. I mean, obviously the company stuff is my main focus. That's really exciting. But I think something I also wanted to talk about too is I think we talked about it kind of early on, but a little before we started working together, I started kind of coming back to Christianity. I felt kind of called to like get back into that world. That I feel that really working with you really helped move that along. I felt spiritually everything was just growing as I felt better and better. So that's I don't know. That's a lot of where my energy is going now is like just kind of strengthening that and like learning as much as I can and yeah, those are the two main things. But it's yeah, I don't feel like I have to all those diet and lifestyle things. I feel like I just do them now because I want to. And I don't feel like I need to do these things, but I don't know. It's why would I move away from it? But um, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to use it to yeah just feed into work stuff, obviously, but the connection with God and those communities too. But
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I think at some point in a person's journey, the motivations shift and they go from running away from pain to a beautiful form of self-love. So it sounds like you've kind of gone through that process where it's all like self-love now and just about you maintaining, feeling really good. Also, I mean, beautiful to hear that it's helped you deepen your connection with the divine. I mean, that's all I could really hope for, right? Um, you know, there's a whole like mystical spiritual layer to having a detoxified body and brain, I would say, and that for everyone that shows up differently. But yeah, I mean, it helps feel connected. Let's just say so. Okay. Wow. Anything else you want to share, or do you feel good with that?
um, yeah, I feel like that was everything. I felt like it was exactly what I needed, and I just really appreciate completely turn everything around. So yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate it was awesome working with you. So,
Great pleasure to guide you, Trevor. Thank you so much for joining me, man. I hope you guys found some benefit from it.